Hello, and welcome to another episode of Reviews in a Rabbit Onesie, the show in which I, Dan Leith, review things in a rabbit onesie. You can be my hero, baby, even though you're 3 feet tall. I will stand by you forever. You will give my neck a crick. That's right, the two films that we're putting head to head this week are about height-challenged heroes. Little wisecracking small guys. Which brings us to movie number 1, 2019's Pokemon Detective Pikachu. So this movie is obviously set in the world of Pokemon. In case you don't know, they're little adorable creatures. You've got to catch them all. But in this film, no one's really catching them or battling with them. Apparently you just have one as your mate. Apart from the protagonist of this film, his name is Tim. He's against Pokemon because of daddy issues. He gets a phone call telling him that his dad is dead. So he travels to a place called Rhyme City, which is just full of Pokemon. And people. And recognizable buildings like the Gherkin. From what I could tell, Rhyme City seems to be some sort of London-Japan hybrid. Anyway, he goes to check out his dad's old place, and he finds a talking Pikachu.
Kid, I need your help.
I'm gonna throw up.
Or a Pikachu that at least he can understand. And the Pikachu is voiced by Ryan Reynolds.
I could stop whenever I want. These are just choices.
The Pikachu tells him that his dad's not dead, and then they partner up to find out what happened. Detective Pikachu.
You have to be open to the experience. Try it sometime.
It essentially borrows a lot from Who Framed Roger Rabbit, except it's nowhere near as good and full of Pokemon. This movie actually starts pretty well. Ryan Reynolds is awesome as Pikachu, cast in gold. However, it seems pretty apparent pretty quickly that he must have been ad-libbing all of his lines, because the rest of the dialogue and script is garbage. And the rest of the cast aren't good either. I mean, even Bill Nighy's not great in this film, and he's Bill fucking Nighy.
Was for me to evolve into a better version of myself.
There's the supporting character of an annoying child reporter who's basically just a pound shop Miley Cyrus.
No, not now, Psyduck. I'm working this source.
She's got all this cartoonish dialogue that's just a bit painful to listen to. But at least she has a Psyduck.
Psyduck?
Thumbs up for Psyduck. Fan favourite. The film's a bit all over the place, which is annoying, because when this film is good, it's actually really funny, quite exciting at times. There's a scene at the start with a bunch of feral 8-bomb Pokemons. They start chasing Tim, somewhat undressing him. Pikachu says some sort of hilarious line like,
No, they seem to be attracted to your increasing nudeness!
it's actually really funny. There's quite a few really great Ryan Reynolds-led scenes at the start of this film.
I don't wear underwear, you know? I'm not modest.
This Pikachu is addicted to caffeine.
Extra shot, black as night, thank you.
Wait, what the fuck is that Pokemon? Lines about feeling it in your jellies? Not sure about that, actually. There's a great scene where Pikachu calls out the fan culture. The fact that Tim has Pikachu merch all over his bedroom. You're not gonna make me into a lampshade, are you? Nice one, Ryan. Highlights are an underground Pokemon battle. That's all pretty class. There's quite an exciting scene with giant Torterra. And one of the absolute highlights is a scene where they interrogate Mr. Mime.
Ooh, that.
Who's a creepy fucking Pokemon.
What? I can shove it?
He's like a mime.
Pipe, yes, okay, I can.
But that's very funny.
That went dark fast. I like this very much.
If you like Pokemon, they're doing a lot of fan service here. You'll enjoy seeing your favourite Pokemon on screen. But if you're a fan of script writing, this movie's pretty painful. A lot of it doesn't make sense. There's a scene early on where Tim and Pikachu just walk into this TV station where the most important man in the world is being interviewed. Where's the security? The script, for the most part, is just people telling Tim that his dad is dead, or that his dad isn't dead. I mean, from about 20 minutes in, you know exactly where this film is going. All of the plot lines are blatantly signposted, but with a lot of convoluted explanations. And it all culminates in a truly god-awful last act. I mean, the last 20 minutes of this film are like fast-forwarding through a foreign film while suffering a migraine. Which is such a pity, because so much of it is so entertaining and fun. It just all goes to shit. I think Ryan Reynolds should have overseen the entire script. They say you can't polish a turd, but Ryan Reynolds can. Apparently. What did I learn from this movie? I learned that Lickitongues need to learn about consent.
Please don't.
And that Psyducks really love foot massages.
What are you doing?
I mean, I was really enjoying this movie until a point, and then I just wasn't. I honestly don't think I could ever watch it again, but I could definitely watch the best scenes on YouTube, or the trailer, which shows you the best scenes anyway. The trailer for this film is class. The movie is a disappointment. 2 out of 5 tiny wisecracks. Which brings us to movie number 2, 1986's Howard the Duck. Now, this movie's based off the Marvel comic series that probably a lot of you had never heard of. It was produced by George Lucas and directed by a man called Willard Yuck, who frankly sounds like a duck pretending to be a human being. Anyway, this movie opens strong. It begins on the planet of the ducks. It has 2 moons. We meet Hard in his apartment, listening to jazz music.
Hi, it's Wendy.
There's lots of parody posters of famous movies but starring ducks. Breeders of the Lost Stork, Splash Dance.
And his darling white mare.
And Hard is reading a play duck.
Would they interview this month?
Wait a minute, were those duck boobs?
My little airbrushed beauty?
Couldn't have been. This movie's PG. Suddenly Hard's chair starts vibrating.
What is going on here?
And he's sucked through the walls of his apartment complex. There's a couple who are like, what the fuck?
Did you hear something?
There's a duck girl in the bath.
I'm such a lucky girl in love.
Right, those are duck boobs. This movie's a PG. Anyway, Hard apparently gets sucked to Earth, where he meets Leah Thompson, who's playing the character of Beverly. She's a singer in a struggling, awesome 80s rock band. He basically intervenes her being molested.
That's it. No more Mr. Nice Duck.
Like that scene from RoboCop where he shoots the guy's dick off, except with no gore and an anthropomorphic duck. It's essentially a duck out of water interspecies romantic comedy, maybe? It also stars Tim Robbins, who's actually hilarious as a character named Phil. He's a scientist. Jeffrey Jones is also there as a scientist who gets possessed by some sort of dark alien overlord. And obviously Hard has to stop that, while also figuring out how to exist as a duck in a human world. It's just about as crazy as it sounds. There's so many weird scenes in this film. There's a scene where Hard scares a bunch of school kids at a fountain.
Beat it!
Calls them mutants. He briefly gets a job in some place that I can only describe as a sex sauna. I mean, this is a PG. Essentially, he becomes closer to Beverly after standing up for her in the band. He threatens their douchebag manager and decides he's going to represent them.
Maybe you're just the kind of bizarro influence we need.
This movie is a PG, but it's a very sexually charged interspecies PG.
I have developed a greater appreciation for the female version of the human anatomy.
There's a scene with Beverly and Hard where she's coming on to him.
Let's go for it, Mr. Macho.
Super strong.
It's just that you're so incredibly soft and cuddly.
Rubbing his chest. His feathers get erect. Apparently she's only joking,
Come on, Howard, I was just kidding.
so that makes it okay. There are other weird scenes. The police strip search Hard, looking for a zipper because they think he's just a little person in a suit, which technically he is, but not in the world of the movie. There's another scene in a cafe where a mob hold down Hard, season him. This crazy chef's gonna cut his head off. I mean, this is a PG. Also, what the fuck is happening? Essentially, the main plot is about Jeffrey Jones turning into this alien. It's very like Men in Black, but with more duck. I mean, this movie is worth it just for the what the fuck factor alone. There's some very entertaining practical effects. The Hard suit is pretty cool, but a little creepy as fuck. There's quite a hilarious scene with Tim Robbins and Hard the Duck in a microlight.
That way! Stay low!
They're actually just flying about the place. They fly down and knock a bunch of duck hunters off their boat. Fuck you, duck hunters. And there's some amazing claymation at the end. I mean, I was mesmerized by that shit. I know this movie isn't very well liked. It's a bit too weird and sexy to be that suitable for children, and a bit too what the fuck to be suitable for most adults, but you'll never see a weirder PG in your life. It's worth a watch for that alone. Also, the original music is really catchy and quite cheesy, and I enjoy it, and I don't care.
They call him Howard the Duck.
It's a tune. An earworm at least. What did I learn from this movie? I learned that everyone loves a band playing behind mesh and never serve an anthropomorphic duck eggs. He won't appreciate that. So yes, that's Hard the Duck. You almost have to see it to believe it. Even if it's just for the what the fuck factor, you should give it a watch. Unless you've got better things to do with your time. 3 out of 5 tiny wisecracks. Thank you for watching Reviews in a Rabbit Onesie. I've been Dan Leith. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share, subscribe. And if you want me to review anything else, please leave a comment underneath. Apparently I'll watch anything. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, stay sane. This one's for you, Quacker.
Finn,